and procedural disciplinary proceedings against health workers at Vihiga County Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the unprocedural disciplinary proceedings being meted out on healthcare workers at Vihiga County Referral Hospital. These unprocedural interdictions, suspension, even dismissals have demoralized staff across hospitals in Vihiga and affected the quality of healthcare service provision in the county. Further, the development concerning the running of the health facility in Vihiga County show that the county did not take seriously the deliberation it had with the Standing Committee on Health and the resultant recommendation given when the committee visited the county to check on the status of service provision in health facilities in the county. Among the said recommendation was for the county government of Vihiga to ensure that at least either the CEC member or chief officer had a professional background in medical or healthcare fields, among other HR issues that were raised. In the statement, the committee should, 1, state the number of healthcare workers that have been subjected to disciplinary procedures at the Vihiga County Referral Hospital from the year 2022 to date, and table a report outlining the affected workers. Number 2, explain the legal basis for each disciplinary action and flag out any cases of any procedural dismissal of such health workers in the county, ascertaining the number of staff that have been punished without involvement of the County Public Service Board. Number 3, investigate the circumstances of the ongoing punishments that include stoppage of salary, interdiction, suspension, and dismissals of the said health workers, stating why the County Service Public Board was not involved in the said disciplinary matters. Number 4, outline any action taken by the Vihiga County Public Service Board to intervene and reverse cases of unprocedural disciplinary proceedings against the healthcare workers and to ensure that service delivery to the people of Vihiga is not impacted negatively. Number 5, give a status update on the implementation of actionable points agreed upon between the Senate Standing Committee of Health and the Vihiga County government regarding the running of the health function in the county during the visit of the committee to the county last year. And lastly, cause the necessary action to be taken to ensure the County Service Public Board, the County Public Service Board takes their mandate and responsibilities seriously, and where they fall short, be held accountable. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Catherine Muma, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator, but you are holding brief for Catherine Muma.
Yes,
proceed.
Mr. Speaker.
That's what you need to start with.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to read a statement from Senator Catherine Muma. It is a request for a statement on access to village and youth polytechnics for the youth in informal settlement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the plans by the Nairobi City County Government and the Ministry of Education to facilitate equitable access to public vocational and technical education and training for the youth in informal settlements in Nairobi. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should, 1, state whether the Nairobi City County government has a policy framework for facilitating equitable access to the right to relevant education and training as the prerequisite conduit to accessing employment as mandated by Article 45 and 53 of the Constitution for youth in informal settlements in Nairobi, and if present, summarize for the Senate the actualization of that framework. Number 2, share the Senate information on the number of public village and youth polytechnics situated in the different informal settlements in Nairobi.
Senator Boni and co. I call you to order. Proceed.
Such as Mathare, Kibera, Kawangware, Mkuru, amongst others, and specify whether their locations facilitate equitable access for youth within reasonable proximity to the respective informal settlements. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, seek and provide the Senate with information from the Ministry of Education regarding the number and names of public technical institutions situated in the informal settlements in Nairobi and the number registered as private technical institutes within the informal settlements. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should provide the Senate with information indicating the amount of money the Ministry of Education and Nairobi City County respectively allocated and spent on public, technical, and vocational institutions situated in different informal settlements in Nairobi during the financial year of 2022-2023 and 2023-2024. Honorable Speaker, there is a second statement by Senator Catherine Moma. The second statement is a request for a statement on equal access to public education for children in informal settlements in Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the efforts of both the national government and the Nairobi City County government to facilitate equal access to public education for children in informal settlements in Nairobi. In the statement, the committee should, 1, clarify whether the Ministry of Education has policies in place to ensure equal access to free and compulsory basic education as mandated by Article 43 and 53 of the Constitution for children residing in informal settlements in Nairobi, elucidating the provisions of these policies. Number 2, provide the Senate with data on the population of individuals living in various informal settlements in Nairobi, including the number of children and young people requiring access to education in early childhood development centers, primary schools and secondary schools. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, detail the number of public ECD centers, primary and secondary schools located in different informal settlements in Nairobi, such as Mathare, Kibera, Kawangware, and Mkuru, and assess whether their locations provide equitable access for children in the respective informal settlement. Number 4, provide information from the Ministry of Education on the number and names of schools registered as private schools that provide primary education in informal settlements, as well as the number of unregulated, low-cost private schools initiated by communities in these areas, including support, if any, that the ministry provides to these community schools. Number 5, present an estimate of the cost of building a school and outline how many schools the ministry has constructed in informal settlements since 2022, as well as those planned for the next 2 years. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should conduct a public hearing with stakeholders from informal settlements to understand the experiences of learners and their families regarding access to education and make recommendations from the Ministry of Education and the Nairobi City government to consider. Senator Catherine Moyeka Muma, I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mohammed Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am requesting for a statement on the loss of signal on the free-to-air channels in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology regarding the loss of signal on the free-to-air channels for licensed broadcast signal distributors, namely Pan-African Network Group and Signet Kenya Limited. In the statement, the committee should, 1, disclose the ownership structure of both Pan-African Network Group and Signet Kenya Limited, stating whether they have adhered to the court directive of offloading their shares to the local investors. Number 2, state the root cause of the constant network glitches that have occasioned the loss of signal on the free-to-air channels for the licensed signal carriers, PANG and Signet. And finally, explain any effort by the Communication Authority of Kenya, CAK, to address the matter. Thank you very much, Honorable.